Hi friends! Welcome back to the Fox's Den. I'm Gina, the dyer behind the little foxes, and this is just another... I guess we decided this is a podcast. I don't know if it technically is, but just a little update on what I've been working on shop-wise and not, and to see what you guys have been up to. I hope you have all been well. If this looks familiar, I know that I filmed the last video on the same day, so surprise! I wasn't gonna waste a cute dress on anything else. I'm not going anywhere, I'm just filming, so. But the most recent thing that I've been working on that I was very excited about is a new yarn collection, but it is the HADESTOWN collection, inspired by, oh, some of these ends definitely need to be tucked in. Don't look at those. But these are all inspired by the HADESTOWN musical. So if you are unfamiliar with that musical, hopefully I can convince you to listen to the soundtrack every single day for the rest of your life and potentially knit some things also inspired by it. Not really. You can listen to it every other day, so that'll be okay. I'll be okay with that. Since the last video, there were a couple projects that I have updates on. We'll start with my Serenity. So it kind of still looks like a big pink blob. Obviously it's not finished, but I did get a few inches in, and it has a lot of stitches. So every single round takes a couple minutes, I feel like. I definitely need to switch it to longer needles already, so that's pretty cool that I did get a good amount of progress, but it is summer now and it's not done. I'm okay with that though. I only want it to be a couple more inches, I think. I really just want it to cover the butt so that I can wear it with like biker shorts or leggings. Like, I don't want it to be a super long dress, but hopefully it'll be done soon. We'll see. I have been working on a lot of other things though. Since one of the, I don't remember when it actually came out, it might have been February this year, but the Encanto collection that I released earlier this year, I've made tiny sweaters and granny square swatches in DK yarn. With all of the leftover yarn though, I have, oh, it's a big bag. I have been making so many more granny squares to hopefully make a blanket. I don't even know how many I actually have. Oh, and here are the sweaters. I don't know how many I have yet. I think I have one colorway that still has a couple squares to go, and then I'll start deciding how to place them. And I think I'm going to do an invisible seam stitch to attach all the squares together instead of giving them another border, which I usually do. It's a lot of tiny sweaters. I'm gonna put in clips of the actual sweaters because I have 2 more sets of them that I've also worked on, so you can see close-ups of those. But yeah, I've made 9 tiny sweaters for Encanto, 12. I think I made 12 sweaters for the Vulpine update, which was the last update that I did, inspired by foxes and their natural habitats. I also made 9 tiny sweaters for all of the HADESTOWN colorways and crochet swatches for those too, so I'll insert clips of all of those. It's been a lot of knitting sweaters since last time we spoke. But I think they're really fun, and now I have a lot of ornaments to sell later this year. Another thing that I picked up for a little bit was a sweater that I started designing last year, I think at the end of the year, in one of my cat colorways. I can't remember if I actually mentioned this in the last video, but is in my Fred colorway, which is gray, brown, and cream. And that has become much, much longer now. I think I'm just an inch or two away from bind off, which is really exciting because I started this last year, of course. But it is a simple raglan increase sweater. But I'm going to, instead of doing color work, I decided to, the pattern that I want to put on this, I'm going to do it in a duplicate stitch in a bright pink, which was also from my cat's collection. This is the color Oreo. I know it doesn't look like Oreo, but it was inspired by her tongue that always stuck out. But yeah, I'm excited about that, and I hope the pattern, I hope it stands out enough because this is a pretty busy colorway, so I'm hoping the bright pink will actually help the pattern show up when I do the duplicate stitch. I don't know if it's too detailed, so we'll find out hopefully soon. Of course, I keep saying hopefully soon, and then I'm working on another sweater as well, so soon is irrelevant. I don't know what soon means anymore. But also related to the HADESTOWN collection, I started to design a sweater in my favorite colorway. It's called the Electric City. I haven't gotten very far yet, but there's some really nice details. Hopefully that shows up. Cables and some lace. This is another raglan style sweater that I'm designing, and I've only worked on it for like 2 nights, and I feel like I've gotten pretty far for that. From idea to that in just like a night or two is exciting. So hopefully that one will actually be ready to be tested and released before winter. I'm not very good at keeping up with the seasons. Usually when I finish a sweater, it is ready to be released in summertime, which is not ideal. What else? I think that's it for all of the fiber related things at the moment. Maybe. I have a pile of fabrics behind me, so hopefully there will be a bag update coming out soon. Actually, they're all cut, they just need to be sewn together, so we're getting very close, hopefully soon. Aside from that, I feel like since the last video that I made, I have, again, this is the non-fiber related part, so you can tune out if you don't care. But since the last time I made this, I've actually made bread twice on my own, and it was very good. Very crusty bread. Before the next video, I really want to try making macarons. I have wanted to make them for a long time, so hopefully they can come out okay. I really want to make matcha ones with like a strawberry jelly buttercream filling. That's what I'm gonna go for. I don't know how many attempts it's gonna take me to get edible macarons, but hopefully not too many. Aside from that, last time I remember that I mentioned Nier Automata, and I actually beat that game. There were 3 full playthroughs that you're supposed to get through to get to like the actual full story, and it was very sad. It's a very sad game, but it's definitely one of my favorites now. Since then, I have moved on to playing Persona 5 Royal. I played Persona 5, I think it was in like 2019 or so, and it took me almost 100 hours. It's a very long game, but that was the same year, I think, that Persona 5 Royal came out, which is like this same game, but they added on to it. So if the initial one took 100 hours, how long is this one gonna take? I don't know, but that's why it took me so long to try to finally go back to playing it. And I feel like I've gotten through maybe 1/5 of the original game, but there's already been so much added to it, and I know that there's other new stuff later on in the game too, so we'll see how long this actually takes. But it's still very fun. There's another one of my favorite games, I think, ever. We'll see after the second playthrough though. Um, what else? Since last time, I have finished 2 books. That's probably not very impressive, but I am kind of a slow reader. I actually finished one book that I started reading with my friend. Well, we were going to read it together. And the day that she started, she finished it the next day. Before I had even started it, so that was a really fun time. But I read The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. It was a pretty good book. I do like the story the overall story I thought was pretty good, but a lot of the chapters inside of it I thought were kind of repetitive and like not suspenseful. Like I could predict what was going to happen like half of the time. Didn't predict the ending at all, so that was like really good. But like some of the other things that happened along the way were just like, I don't know, they could have been left out, I feel like. But I would definitely recommend that one. That one was pretty good. I also finished book 2 of the Lycanius trilogy. And I started book 3, which is 1,300 pages. It's a little daunting. I think I'm at 30, almost 40% now though. So maybe I'll be done with that before the next time I make one of these. We'll see. It's taking a really long time, but it's still really good. Like it is definitely taking a long time, but I still really like it all. It's just a little slower to read because there's so much going on, especially as they wrap up all 3 books. So I'm excited to see how it ends, and hopefully I'll finish it within a month. I don't know. Hopefully that's doable. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. If I'm knitting or reading this month, I have a lot of things that I would like to do, so that's that. But I think that's everything that's been going on here for now. Let me know what you've been up to since last time. Are you starting any new projects or excited for any new yarn that you're getting? I know in summer, usually knitting and crocheting either slows down a little bit or, I don't know. Maybe it's time to plan for fall and winter though. For once, hopefully I'll get my things done a season early. That would be nice. I would really like that. Well, I hope you guys have a great day, and I will talk to you soon.